Hello and welcome to the third and possibly final episode of Slopbusters. I'm Terrapin, aka Terry. Here with me is Bruno and Randy. And not with us is Burgermiester, being the drunk fuck that he is. Today, our episode is the one and only directorial film by Stephen King, Maximum Overdrive.
Maximum over maximum.
The movies Stephen King promised would be the best adaptation of his work.
He promised he would scare the hell out of us.
Clearly, he showed this. He sent a copy to Stanley Kubrick because, like, eat your heart out. You know.
I mean, this is
I made the best film with a goblin truck.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, he did.
Yeah. And to be fair, Maximum Overdrive is a very fun film.
I'm not joking when I say this is one of my go-to comfy movies.
It's funny that there's really not too many killer car movies when you think about it. The only other good one I can think of is another King adaptation, Christine, by John Carpenter.
Oh, there was the Simpsons Y2K episode.
That too, yeah.
But that was it.
Who could forget Riding the Pink Car, of course. 70s classic that only Guillermo del Toro was a fan of.
Of course he was.
Of course. Anyway,
I saw an interview with him and he was mentioning that. I was like, how the fuck does he know about riding the pink car?
Well, Toro's seen everything. What the fuck are you talking about?
Yes.
Bruno, that must have been very disturbing for you. I thought I was the only one who knew about that.
Yeah,
how does he know?
I never saw anyone talk about that fucking movie. I'm like, how did he know?
But let's get into Maximum Overdrive and explaining why this is such a fun film, or trying to.
I think part of the explanation could be cocaine.
Stephen King was coked up to his eyeballs.
Out of his fucking mind.
Yeah.
He doesn't remember anything about the production to this day.
Which is why it's probably one of the reasons that it's kind of a unique film.
Also plays a couple books he was writing, like Cujo, he doesn't remember anything about.
And speaking of Stephen King, he gets a camo right at the start of the film.
Honey, come on over here, sugar buns. This machine just called me an asshole.
It's a great intro for your horror film. It just sets the tone perfectly. You know, when he goes to the ATM and has a little sign, LED sign saying "fuck you." Then he takes some money out, and the ATM calls him an asshole. Says, honey, this machine called me an asshole. Immediately cut to AC/DC.
Who Made Who?
Yeah.
One of the greatest songs made for a movie.
Definitely.
That's the introduction. We learn that the Earth is in the tail of a comet, and
because of this comet, that all the electronics are supposed to be going insane, but cars are specifically going first, and they're all crashing and killing all the humans on top of this toll bridge.
Specifically, diesel trucks go first, and cars sometimes go, sometimes they don't. It's whatever.
It's bullshit.
Yeah.
But turn your brain off.
Yeah.
All I gotta say is just enjoy the fucking carnage, because that is some great work right there.
The drawbridge scene really sets the tone for the film.
And it has Trump's ex-wife Marla Maples being killed by watermelons. I'm not making that up.
Let's see. Oh yeah, there's also the AC/DC van on the toll bridge.
Yeah, it makes a cameo.
So after this, we cut to a truck stop in North Carolina, where
we cut to the truck stop, the Dixie Boy truck stop, where we meet our protagonist Emilio Estevez, part of the Estevez dynasty, the son of Martin Sheen, and of course he has an uncle. What's the other Estevez uncle? And of course his sister Renee and troubled brother Charlie. But Emilio is our protagonist, and we find out he's parolee, and everything is, he's working for a corrupt diesel truck guy.
I can't remember his name, so I'm just calling him Buck Strickland.
Yeah,
because he kind of looks like him.
It's played by the character is played by Pat Hingle, who later played Commissioner Gordon in the '90s Batman movies.
Really? guy.
Yeah, it's a big thing. Like, why is Emilio Estevez in this movie? Because you have to keep in mind this is after Breakfast Club. This is when he was a huge star. He just wrote his own film. He was just about to direct his own film, like the same year. So why is he in this movie? My guess is the money, and he wanted to get laid, wanted to get have a little vacation.
To be
Yeah.
fair, in this movie, he gets some fine pussy.
Yeah. And also it's a chance to just ham it up.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because
I mean,
oh
who
man.
could resist being in a movie where you blow up cars, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, who wouldn't want that on their fucking resume?
No one. It's less embarrassing than the Mighty Ducks movies, anyway.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
So
three of
yeah,
them.
we're in the truck stop, and some shenanigans are going on. A guy gets killed by an arcade machine. Who's at?
Who
And it's actually Gus from Breaking Bad.
Fuck,
Which-
I can't remember his name right now. The actor's name.
Bruno.
The Giancarlo Esposito, I believe.
Yeah, he gets killed by a Star Castle machine.
Yo, mama.
And of course, we have the most unrealistic aspect of this movie: $9 for 15 gallons of diesel.
Yeah.
Oh, I wish I could go back to that.
Yep. So the first sign of
Bruno, give us a bit more before we go fully into this. Bruno, give us a bit of history on this film or background.
Well, okay, so this is part of a series of films by the producer Dino De Laurentiis. For those who don't know, De Laurentiis, he was like a maverick Italian producer. He put out a lot of really interesting films, including the 70s remake of King Kong and the sequel, where he infamously said, "When monkey die, everybody cry." Yeah, he also produced Conan the Barbarian and the sequels, including Conan the Destroyer and Red Sonja. Then there's 1980s Dune, Blue Velvet, Manhunter, a lot of great films there. But this is part of his series of Stephen King adaptations. The other ones were Cat's Eye, Silver Bullet, and The Dead Zone, directed by David Cronenberg. And no one really knows like how Stephen King became involved as like the director, but it can just be assumed he thought it was fun and it was good money involved. So
And this is based on one of his short stories, Trucks.
Also, fun fact, because Stephen King he provided a pull quote for the first Evil Dead, like most original movie of the year. But he knew that Sam Raimi, he wanted to do a sequel to Evil Dead 2, so he hung out with Dino De Laurentiis, and he was like, hey, this guy wants to do a sequel to this, you should let him do it. And he got Dino De Laurentiis to produce Evil Dead 2. So thank you, Stephen King, for that one.
Yeah.
Also, I'm pretty sure, that quote was responsible for New Line Cinema picking up Evil Dead.
Oh yeah, that was a big reason why the movie got picked up in England, and then New Line picked it up.
Also, in a bit of roundabout, the new Evil Dead is going to be produced by New Line. The more you know.
Do you mean the animated one, or do you mean a sequel?
No, the one that's going to HBO Max.
Okay, so because I know. Oh wait, I think Bruce was gonna do an animated Evil Dead or something.
You know, I would be totally down for that.
I don't know anymore. There's so many Evil Dead things going on.
Yeah, there is.
But you know what isn't going on? People getting hit in the crotch with soda cans.
Oh, here's an interesting thing about this scene. First off, during this scene, or I think it's the next scene, one of the props went off and struck the cinematographer in the eye where he was permanently blinded.
Yeah, that was a lawnmower scene.
Okay, that was a lawnmower scene.
Yeah.
So weird stuff's popping up at the truck stop, but little what's his face's little league game is getting interrupted on account of the coach getting machine gunned down by a soda machine.
That's the scene. I thank God that scene's on YouTube by itself, because that's the scene I always used to introduce people into the movie. So
that is a great scene, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Perfect, like non sequitur scene, and it's funny at first. You see the guy getting hit in the nuts with the soda can. Then it becomes quickly horrifying when the soda can hits him in full force.
In the face, and there's this big bloody welt there as he's twitching on the ground.
Because then you realize, getting hit with a soda can at extremely high force, that'd probably kill you.
Yeah. And then the steamroller comes in.
I'm going to roll all over you!
Oh, yeah.
And because the MPAA fucking sucks, the gore in this scene was cut out almost completely, except for one tiny frame where you can actually see the gore.
Yeah. So the story goes. This is all thanks to Joe Bob Briggs when he was showing the movie on Monster Vision. That Stephen King he shot the scene, but he didn't like it at first. So he had the dummy. He just put a couple blood bags on the dummy, and the steamroller ran over the dummy, and then it just produced this great effect. It was like the kid's head exploded, and there was this big red streak on the steamroller. Stephen King loved this footage, sent a VHS copy to George Romero, and apparently made George Romero puke. So he was like, "Yes, I did it."
Yeah.
Unfortunately, this footage has never been seen. So
And we think Stephen King might have the only footage for it, but considering how much he fucking hates this movie, it's never going to see the light of day.
I mean, it's
Aw.
basically like a Day the Clown Cried situation. I mean, they're both cinematic achievements on the same par, I think.
Except this has been released.
Yeah, release the Stephen King cut hashtag.
Yep.
We need that to happen.
So after the Little League massacre, we introduce two other characters: the main love interest and another King classic, the corrupt Bible salesman / fundy pastor,
Yeah.
who actually has a bunch of Chick Tracts scattered throughout his car.
I just noticed that on my rewatch.
Yeah, they're real. They're like actual Chick Tracts that they either bought or found for this.
I like to think they're from Stephen King's personal collection.
Yeah, probably.
I do collect some of them too.
Yeah.
Chick Tracts are the best. For all those Zoomers who don't know what the fuck a Chick Tract is, back in like the 60s through 2000s, there was this fundamentalist Christian guy called Jack Chick who drew comics to try to convert people to evangelical Christianity, and they're often really, really funny, unintentionally. Because Jack Chick has no idea how the modern world works, so you get shit like D&D. If your D&D character dies, you'll commit suicide in real life.
Yeah.
And they're amazing.
Yeah, that was adapted into a short film called Darkest Dungeon, which JonTron also made.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, and interesting thing is, if you bought the first season of Rick and Morty on Blu-ray, it came with a parody of Chick Tracts inside the Blu-ray.
Huh.
So if you have a copy of that lying around, you could. That's what it's a parody.
That would just be way more embarrassing. So.
Yeah. Like don't defame Jack Chick's memory by comparing it to Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
I mean, those are very high IQ, and I guess that's
Yeah.
I guess that's a played out joke too.
Yep. But
so we're introduced to our Bible sales, corrupt, evil, grotesque Southern Bible salesman. As,
who kind of looks like he kind of looks like Torgo.
Torgo, yeah, like Torgo from Manos: The Hands of Fate.
Like,
and the love interest realizes that shit's going down with the comets and has him pull in to the Dixie Boy truck stop.
And tells him to eat his shorts.
And speaking of eat our shorts, the next person we come across is a just recently married couple. One of whom is played by Yeardley Smith, aka Lisa Simpson.
Basically, she's just doing the Lisa voice.
Yeah,
that's all she can really do. Just the Lisa voice.
Well, it's the Lisa voice mixed with Southern hick.
Oh, but
it's
yeah,
funny.
a little Southern. Yeah.
Okay, so she can differentiate her voice just a tiny bit.
It's like if you throw your voice, it's like that.
To be fair, she yells a lot
Yeah.
in this movie.
It's basically all she does. She yells, she cries. That's basically what her character does.
That's her character arc. Scream, yell, scream louder, whine, complain about the sewer, scream more. That's her character arc.
Interestingly enough, though, the recent Blu-ray release by Lionsgate actually has an interview with her and her experiences on this, despite the fact that she also hates this movie alongside Stephen.
Which is sad because it's sad that everybody hates this movie who worked on it. Because
it's less embarrassing than Zombie Simpsons. So
yeah.
I agree. Or his or fucking Matt Groening's logs on the fucking Epstein plane.
Yeah, I mean, you could remake this movie and make it like genuinely scary.
You could, yeah.
Just have like the well, I mean, we already see that the machines can control planes because there's a plane that goes around playing Ride of the Valkyries and strafing people,
Yeah.
and it later like kamikazed into a school bus.
Off camera, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, if they did a sequel or remake, you could go with like 9/11 shit.
yeah,
right
like
there, you
just
know?
all the planes just leveling a city.
Yeah.
Like that go from like what this movie is funny to
You get the
like
they hit the Pentagon scene.
no, like the
Oh,
opening of the
oh my God.
movie is like a bunch of people on a plane and it just goes completely batshit, starts doing barrel rolls and
Oh, yeah,
slams
yeah.
into a city center.
Yeah, yeah. That'd be legit horrifying.
Yeah. Or you could do like some body horror stuff with like pacemakers and shit.
I was thinking you could do that, if a remake happens when Musk makes his the chip that you put inside a brain to roboticize a brain. You could do something with that down the end.
Yeah, and it could be like something like Venom.
Yeah,
Also, you could make this into a legit social commentary.
you could. Yeah.
If you were
Yeah.
smart
I
enough.
mean, it is like Coked Out King wasn't that smart, but he made a really fun movie.
Yeah. Imagine all the Zoomers like on their phones and the TikTok start telling them subliminal messages
Yeah.
and shit.
Well, I don't even fucking. I think most TikTokers would kill themselves if somebody on the app told
Well, I
them
think
to.
most TikTokers should kill themselves, but that's
Yeah.
another story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who made who starts playing all the
Yeah, like they're doing the go to heaven challenge.
Yeah.
You gotta go get a sturdy chair and some sturdy rope and find a thing to hang it on, and then
Yeah.
you walk off into heaven.
We find out
Because the TikToks told me.
Yeah, we find out the Paul brothers died. It's like who made who plays,
Also, I gotta mention with the soundtrack, we already mentioned
God,
ACDC is on the soundtrack. We also
Can't
forgot
mention
to
it enough.
mention,
You can't mention it enough. It's such a great soundtrack.
Yeah.
not only can we not mention that enough, they literally provide every musical cue in this.
Yes.
Including a variation of the Psycho. ECDC does a version of that in a couple of scenes.
It's
Yeah.
great.
Also, worth noting is that ACDC usually doesn't do like greatest hits CDs. This is the absolute closest they've come to because
Yeah.
it's recycled from their previous albums plus 3 new songs, one of which is Who Made Who, 2 of which
Yeah.
are instrumental pieces.
So pick up the soundtrack for this film if you
I
can.
highly recommend it.
Highly recommended. I'm not even a fan of ACDC, and I love the score.
Hell fucking yeah.
Yep.
And,
Okay. So
yeah.
everybody's kind of conglomerated at the gas station.
They're just very chill about what's going on. Like the trucks are slowly becoming sentient. Things
Yeah.
shit in the van.
Like they haven't busted out Buck Strickland's bazooka yet, although
Not
that's
yet.
coming.
We find out one of the gas station workers is the father of the Little League player.
Oh yeah, and he gets gas in his eyes, which is
gets
Which
on
is
diesel.
gotta be the-
diesel.
Which
that's
personally, that's the worst fucking way to go in this movie.
yeah.
I fucking hate it when
Gets-
shit gets in my eyes at all, and so just seeing gas in my eye I'd rather
Like-
fucking die.
Yeah, that's gonna like melt off your cornea or whatever.
That'd fuck you
Or-
up, yeah.
Yeah.
It would.
And he gets fucked up and he tries to go save his son and gets run down by a truck.
Even though he can kind of see, he has like no peripheral vision, seeing a fucking giant Green Goblin truck barreling towards you. I think even Velma or Mr. Magoo would notice
Yeah.
that fucking truck.
Well, no, that truck has like 100 in sneak. It's it can randomly come up on people as we see in the
Yes.
ending. Okay, so a carving knife comes along and attacks a waitress. Comes alive and attacks a waitress.
She now goes psycho throughout the rest of the movie.
Yeah,
just straight up,
she spends like the
I pretty much broke her right there.
yeah. She kind of got broke there, and instead of healing, she just drunk a lot and got really drunk and started screaming at the trucks. The waitress is one of the funny side characters. It's a Stephen King. It's a Stephen King work, so you're gonna get the characters. There's
Yeah, yeah,
rednecks,
is it-
corrupt redneck, waitress,
is it the-
redneck.
Isn't the waitress like another Stephen King trope? You have another character proselytizing, trying to turn people over to what they believe in.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is one of those movies where you gotta turn on the Stephen King drinking game.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah. It's,
To be
I
fair,
mean,
I think King was playing the Stephen King drinking game Whatever.
Oh yeah, you know he was.
Yeah.
Kept replacing the alcohol with Coke.
Yes. All right. We got the funded Babu preacher man. We got the good guy, the lead, and his girl. All right, now we just need the corrupt hick and the corrupt hick in here. We need the corrupt hick. Where is he? Where the fuck is he?
It's funny. There's a story.
Get more trucks. Get more trucks. They gotta be bigger, louder. They gotta explode.
God, I fucking love cocaine.
I'm coming down. Ah!
I don't think he ever came down. Not until years later, you know. The dude was going a mile a minute. There's a story of I don't know who visited the set. I want to say one of the actors or producer, and he was just kind of remarking how Stephen King wasn't a great director. He just kind of let the cinematographer do his job for him. But he was asking him like, "Oh, can you write a story?" Like, you know, and he was like, "What you got?" And he's like, "A chair," and he just wrote up like take a couple thousand words, a short story about a killer chair. It's true.
I mean,
It's that
bless
Family
his
Guy
heart.
gag. It's that Family Guy gag come to life, you know, where he has like a killer lamp. It's like, you're running out of ideas, aren't you?
I mean, it's the same guy who wrote about a killer hotel room.
Yeah,
Yep.
Also, that was an underrated adaptation in my opinion.
yeah.
Yep. I mean, he's a guy who wrote about a killer laundry press and
Oh, that
actually
one.
managed to make it kind of disturbing.
And that film was dog shit. I saw that one directed by
The
Toby
Mangler.
Mangler, yeah.
Yeah.
It had everything going for it. You have the director of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. You have Robert Englund. It was just dog shit. It was so bad.
How can you fuck that up?
Yeah.
Then again, they also fucked up Dreamcatcher, and that was with Lawrence Kasdan, the guy who did Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah, that was the one with the fucking aliens that emerge out of your ass.
Yes.
Wait,
Okay,
what?
why the fuck did that
Wait,
movie
what?
have a $40 million budget?
Yeah, this is true. Stephen King, he had a thought like, what would be the scariest thing? Oh, aliens that emerge out of your asshole when you're taking a shit.
To be
It's
fair,
true.
every
You
time
look
I
it up.
To be fair, every time I'm taking a shit, it feels like an alien's coming out of my asshole.
Yeah.
You know what? That's stupid, but it could also be really fucking creepy.
$68
Yeah.
million
Like
budget.
you go down and take a shit, and like a little alien pops up, and he's just doing laps in
Yeah.
the toilet bowl.
Yeah, yeah.
That's.
Oh, it'd be like Ghoulies.
I mean, that's less.
They'll get you in the end.
No,
mean-
seriously, why the fuck is that movie $68 million budget? What the fuck?
Hollywood, cocaine, embezzlement, whatever.
Holy shit.
Now, I say this as someone who really, ironically, enjoys the movie Thinner, another really bad Stephen King adaptation. It's very accurate to the book, but it's schlocky as all hell, you know?
I actually thought that was a bit better than I thought it would be.
I love the fat suit in that movie. You know? It's a
I
great
gotta
fat suit.
respect fat suits, though.
Yeah.
Anyway, enough about fat suits. Let's get back
Shit
to
alien.
trying to explain this film, because folks, you really just gotta watch this film for yourselves. Do yourself a favor and get a bunch of your friends together and have a movie night with Maximum Overdrive.
Fuck, I'm gonna say this right now. This is a fun movie just to watch by yourself, too.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I watch it all the time.
This is, as I've said earlier, both Bruno and I, this is our go-to comfy movie.
This was on the TNT channel a lot back in like the late 90s, early 2000s for a reason.
Which is how I caught it.
We're not even halfway through describing the movie. I think.
Yeah, we gotta
Yeah.
get back on track.
Yeah.
So the gas station comes under siege from the machines. Bruno, do you want to go from here? You got a better narration
So
voice.
yeah. So the gas station is being taken under siege. All of our characters are introduced. They're in one central location, except for the little kid who's still on his way. Oh, hey, Cheeseburger.
Oh,
Man.
look! Cheeseburger finally came in, you drunk fuck.
Okay, so the truck stop is under siege. Almost all of our main characters are introduced, but everyone's kind of just still trying to take in the fact that the trucks are sentient and they're surrounded, and the apocalypse has kind of sort of happened. But everyone's just kind of drinking beer and just enjoying the hamburgers and everything. And the corrupt Bible salesman realizes that one of the sentient trucks has dumped garbage over his vehicle, and he runs out, completely unaware of the other fellow, the son the father of the Little Leaguer has been annihilated in a moment by the Green Goblin truck. So he goes out, curses the name of the trucks until the Green Goblin truck backs up to him and
Yeah.
annihilates him.
knocks him into a swamp. Where,
Literally knocking him out of his shoes. Knocking him
Yeah.
out of his shoes, by the way. Yeah.
Yeah, shit, he does.
Yeah.
And the Bible salesman just kind of dies in the swamp. He
Slowly
comes back
dies.
a little later, but
Yeah. Because you gotta have the corrupt Christian in the Stephen King adaptation.
Of course.
Yeah.
Real fucking
yeah,
solid.
gotta bang that drum. But
Yeah.
later, they discover that Buck Strickland, the gas station owner, has a big ass cache of weaponry. This is more expanded on in the short story, where he's also a gun runner in addition to being a gas station owner.
So
But in the movie,
in the short story, does it explain there's aliens, there's comets, or is it just like
not
the trucks
not
are
really.
just
I think it's just kind of the trucks and machinery are alive, and there's no real ending other than the main character realizing that humanity is going to be enslaved and probably killed off by the trucks.
Huh. It's kind of funny. Like that was one of his early short stories, way before he did Carrie.
Yeah,
mean,
I think it was in Night Shift.
Yeah, it was Night Shift. I think it was 71, 72 when he did it.
Yeah, shit, that was way before Gary.
I mean,
Yeah.
when you think about it, he could have adapted almost anything he's ever written. He chose this.
Yeah.
So, like, I wondered what it was. Did he just want to see a bunch of trucks get blown up or kill people?
I mean, that's a good enough excuse as any.
Yeah.
He just really
Sure.
wanted to relive his dream of playing with fucking Hot Wheels.
Oh yeah, would definitely do it.
Fuck, if I had that kind of money and influence, I'd do that.
Same
I
thing.
just want to smash a bunch of trucks together, make the cars go boom.
To be fair, it is a lot more entertaining than monster trucks.
Oh
You
yeah.
just figured out Michael Bay's backstory,
Oh,
Hey,
Good life.
Burgermiester.
He was alive, folks.
mostly.
Uh-huh. Had a little too much last night?
No, I'm fighting off a bit of a summer cold.
Alright.
We've all seen this thing at least what 10
I'm
times.
just
20
okay.
times.
I'm glad we picked a movie that all of us have seen at least twice.
Yeah,
I feel like that's almost a given.
twice would be a safe bet.
Yeah.
Yep. But Emilio and lead woman, kind of meet up with each other. She gets a hilariously cringeworthy line.
You tell little road twitchy about your illustrious career.
Yeah, a little matters from the road twitch.
Yeah, road twitch.
I have looked up this line. What the fuck a road twitch is? I have never found any reference to what that is. And the actress was asked what it was. She
It's when
didn't
you're
know.
creaking on the road.
I think it's like a attempt to boulderize bitch, but they say bitch throughout the film, so
Yeah.
it's maybe I don't know. It's the product
Cocaine,
of Stephen
that's the
King's coked out mind,
Hooked out, yeah.
Yeah, it's
along with the gun cart, the real hero of the film. So after a day of being sieged by the trucks start running out of fuel, which
And
means
and the little kid managed to make it to the truck stop as well.
Oh yeah, he crawled through a sewer.
Yeah.
which I don't think would empty out inside a basin of a sewer anywhere.
Maybe if it was
It's
like a really shitty southern truck stop, maybe.
I mean, maybe,
yeah,
but
it's
still, it's like,
it's leading out from the showers, so it's not actual shit, but
Yeah.
Mm.
I mean, I
hey,
could see it.
trucker showers.
what?
yeah,
You never heard of
probably.
waffle stomping, son?
The let's talk about the gun cart and this
Everyone's
scene.
favorite character.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bruno, you take the lead.
So the gun cart, it's basically just mounted machine gun taken from some military base. It's never explained which one.
Like-
It's driven over to the gas station, and our characters are just given a rude wake up call where the vehicle starts firing into the truck stop, freaking out the waitress, who goes back to "Who we made you? We made you!"
And then she gets
Yep.
shot
she
along with
gets
Buck,
shot.
along with
Thank
Buck Strickland.
Yeah.
One thing about the mounted gun that brings just a teeny bit of attention to it is that, okay, so in the movie, it's aliens. Aliens are using space age technology.
Wow,
to take over.
spoiler.
Oh, shut the fuck up. So anyway, we have it's the takeover of the world shit, and one of the things is this gun cart. Now, I can understand being able to take over a vehicle and control all of its, the lights, the
Who's
fuel
pulling
gauge.
the trigger? Yeah.
Yeah, but that's exactly the thing I'm bringing up is that gun is mounted just on a pole. It's
Yeah.
not electronically connected to the car, the actual car in any way, the Jeep.
Well, see,
So how did it fire?
there's an invisible gray alien sitting on the cart.
Would that have been
does it.
hilarious if that's what happened? Like if someone actually shot out,
Like
and
all the
suddenly
aliens are
they
just
start
invisible.
decloaking.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like, oh crap, our cloaking devices. Oh no.
It's all just a big Scooby Doo plot.
Exactly.
Ah, we'll get the primitives to believe that their technology's alive, but
It'd be
we're
like
just
the,
invisible and running it.
Be like the alternate deleted ending to the Predator, the fourth one, where there's
Oh.
good Predators riding a tank fighting the bad Predators. There's still shots of that scene. It was like 30 minutes of footage where our main characters find like good Predators and they ride with them in the tank and everything.
That is so awesome.
That sounds awesome though.
So it makes you wonder though, like, could you just like extend on that? Could you just like take a bunch of rods and weld them to the side of a truck and then just mount a gun on each rod? And the next thing you know, you got a wall of machine guns that can fire automatically.
Well, shit. Maybe that's what the future would have held for this world. Like humans being enslaved to upgrade the trucks into Mad Max oppression machines.
Exactly. Mad Max.
That'd be
But the vehicles are the bad guys.
See, that'd be like an awesome sequel to this.
That
Where
would,
like
yeah.
a world where like machinery and technology has completely taken over and humans are like maintenance slaves.
I mean, Stephen King's son, who goes under the pseudonym Joe Hill, has expressed interest in directing a remake, so he could go in that direction with it.
Yeah. Or just the gritty modern remake that just, or maybe not even gritty, but just more gory modern remake that has stuff like a pacemaker becoming like a chest burster or something.
Yeah.
But I'd love to see a good modern remake because
Although
God.
mine's just this, honestly.
but I know I'm probably invoking the monkey's paw.
But if it goes well.
Okay, I gotta include that that picture of the predators on a tank.
Yeah.
That's
Of, the
amazing.
fourth
I
one,
want
yeah,
that
that's real.
movie.
That's real. They had to reshoot like 30, 40 minutes
Oh.
of footage.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yep, but speaking of being enslaved to the machines, so the gun cart tells the people at the gas station that they got to start refilling the trucks or else they're all gonna die.
But before that, Emilio Estevez has sex with our
Yep.
leading lady.
Yep.
And he just figures out the entire plot of the movie that aliens are using machines to wipe out humanity so they can come in, basically.
Which I mean that wouldn't be such an issue if it was just, his heat stroke delirium theorizing and it's treated as, well, maybe it's true. But they just confirm it at the end of the movie.
And his heat stroke, I mean, I understand. I've been in a situation where you're outside where it's 100 degrees, but all he was doing was filling up gas for a couple of hours when it's 100 degrees.
Well, dude, that's not.
Yeah,
I mean, without a break,
they
that's
play it
pretty
up like
brutal.
he is like he just got beaten down.
Yeah,
it's that
or
scene in a
he's like been
Western.
mining coal for 16 hours.
It's the scene in a Western where the hero has the shit beaten out of him and he's nursed back to health and he has a plan. It's like that. It's that scene, but with filling up gas.
Okay, that's goofy.
Literally.
But they do have a plan. They're gonna go into the sewer access in the trucker showers and escape. And that's
because
the plan.
Luckily, boats don't have any kind of electrical parts or anything like that.
I mean, they do, but they're surprisingly unaffected.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they're going to escape through the sewers, evade the machines, and go out to an island like 6 miles off the coast where they don't got no electricity.
Which is kind of like the plot of how Day of the Dead ends as well. So
yeah,
to be fair,
maybe Stephen King and George Romero were looking over each other's shoulders.
Yeah.
Like, hey, that's a good idea. Yeah.
To be fair, the ending reminds me a bit of the Dawn of the Dead remake.
That too, yeah.
Kind of like what was it? Remember when Armageddon was coming out, and then that other studio was like, "Let's do our Meteor movie first," and they make Deep Impact.
Oh yeah, Deep Impact.
Turd.
You got me a DVD of Deep Impact.
Yep. But after they do the daring sewer escape, we have Bruno, just describe the destruction montage.
We just have absolute fucking madness. All the trucks decide to just go into fuck it mode because Emilio Estevez has successfully blown up the turret, the mountain turret, and now they've escaped. They've escaped, and the trucks decide to just smash the ever loving fuck out of the gas station.
I gotta admit, you gotta love that from the old school films, where if they wanted to destroy something, they fucking built it, and then they just had to destroy it.
Last day of filming. This has been a rough experience. Take your anger out on the set.
Now I wonder if they did that at a junkyard, or they just did that. They just left the rubbish there.
It looks like an open lot. It looks like an open lot.
Yeah.
It's always been a thing at movie sets where, when they build a set and they just kind of leave the shit there, and because they don't want to spend the money to clean it up.
Oh yeah, actually, there's an entire thing about that. Like Ben-Hur, one of those old Egyptian films and Roman films and stuff. They built that shit out in the middle of the Nevada desert.
Yeah.
And it's still out there.
Yeah.
Like just rubble, just hanging out there. Yeah.
Same thing happened with Titanic. They left the entire boat somewhere in Mexico.
So I mean, last time that boat sank, they left it somewhere up in the Arctic. So.
Also, to go back to Maximum Overdrive, it also happened with Aliens when they filmed the '89 Batman. The set where the Joker becomes the Joker and everything. They filmed the same place where they shot the Alien Hive.
Oh,
and when the crew got there, they found the Alien Hive there and everything.
Going back to the day when other studios would borrow other studio sets.
Yeah.
I know there's a whole place dedicated to people who actually put those pieces together, like other sets they've seen in classic films.
Oh yeah, there's guys who went all the way out to Antarctica. They found pieces of the set from The Thing.
Oh wow,
That's interesting.
It's dedication right there. That is fucking dedication.
Wait, was the thing actually shot in Antarctica?
I think it was, yeah.
Well, it wasn't Antarctica. It
Maybe
was
Alaska.
it was like Alaska-y.
Yeah, somewhere around there. Maybe Britannia, something like that.
I'm looking
out in the middle of nowhere, but
I mean, fun thing fact: the Dutch version of the film, I believe, was actually giving away the film's entire secret in the beginning of the film.
Yeah.
Because the guy in the helicopter was screaming, "Don't trust it! Don't trust it! It's not a dog."
So anyway, the trucks destroy the ever-loving fuck out of the gas station.
Beautiful.
Our main characters are on their way. They stop off at a little restaurant where the little boy has his bit of revenge when those fast food
marquees go up.
Humans here. Little boy decides to shoot the shit out of that thing, and then out of character just says, "I don't want the gun anymore."
Yeah.
Which, no little boy would fire the shit out of a machine gun and be like, "I don't need this." It's like, no. You're gonna go Rambo mode.
It'd be a lot more like, "I need more ammo."
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. Yeah, exactly. Our main characters are on their way to the boat. They're just about there, but one guy sees a dead woman with a giant fucking rock. As a ring, and decides to grab that.
The guy's name is Brad, and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna get that ring. That's gonna be valuable in the tribal society we build on the remote island."
I will rule his
Who knows?
king.
Well, it's his symbol of being tribe chief. That was his plan. I get the diamond. I tribe chief. That how it work.
You never know. It's like the scene in Dawn of the Dead where they rob the bank and everything. Hey, you never know.
I mean, it's toilet paper, at least.
Yeah. I mean, but it's like right out of what happens is right out of fucking Looney Tunes, where the truck the Green Goblin truck silently appears, waits this guy, and then just annihilates this motherfucker.
Well, the Goblin truck being there was set up. We got all those shots of it, roaming the empty rural highways, running over dummies. Here's a great scene of it running over a dummy.
Yeah.
And then it Skyrim stealths up to Brad and runs him over. And there's a great scene of his dummy getting hit and exploding into blood.
Oh yeah.
And then the Goblin truck is unfortunately killed by a rocket, and the crew escapes on the a boat that's somehow not alive despite having a motor. Don't question it.
It's not an electric motor.
And Bruno, describe the last scene.
Last scene is our characters sail off into the sunset, where Lisa Simpson continues to bitch and moan, and it is explained via text that a Russian weather satellite armed with nuclear material has taken down a UFO, and several days later, our characters have continued to survive and everything.
Yep. Which
Yeah.
the only flaw I give this movie,
This movie has flaws.
yeah,
I don't
is
think
that
so.
is well, one of the flaws I give this movie, the major flaw, is that there's no cheap little animated scene of a UFO shooting a beam at the Earth and then like a Russian satellite launching a nuke at
Yeah,
it.
that would have been fun.
I mean, I swear to God, I remember something like that in this film, but it might have been another film.
Could have been
Is-
standalone complex. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
I thought you were about to say Stand By Me.
Now the Stephen King adaptation.
Yep, but like a matte painting of a flying saucer getting shot down by a Russian satellite would have made this film.
Also, that the Green Goblin truck. I don't know if it's the original truck or if they like did a remake, remade the truck. But that truck appears at conventions now across the country.
Oh,
so-
absolutely.
That's awesome.
Oh yeah. So let's go further into the flaws of Maximum Overdrive.
There's
Good.
zero flaws, sir. I mean,
Oh, I've got
this
one
should've
right
been-
off. I
this
got
should have
one
been
right
released
off
by
the bat.
Criterion Collection. I mean, come on.
Unironically.
Yeah.
I mean, they released fucking Armageddon on DVD. They can release this.
Yeah.
So anyway, I do have a flaw with a Maximum Overdrive, and it's not the movie's fault. This is a Stephen King short story, and like some Stephen King short stories, he doesn't give them an ending, and so studios find it upon themselves to give it an ending. This has an incredibly shitty fucking ending. However,
Yeah.
The Mist has an ending that was so Stephen King-esque. I'm surprised it wasn't in the original story.
Yeah.
Because King didn't come up with it.
Yeah. That was Frank
I
Darabont.
think he actually said that. Yeah, no, the ending that they came up with is better than what I wrote.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
what I'm
That is
saying.
one of the greatest fuck you endings I have ever
Yeah.
seen.
It was
Yeah.
beautiful.
That was
like
the best thing about the movie, honestly.
I remember reading the short story, and it's like, so just drive off into the mist? Okay, whatever. Boring.
Let's not spoil the ending for the few who haven't seen it.
Whatever.
Yeah,
Spoiler:
but
everyone
watch,
dies.
go see The
Close
Mist.
enough.
It's really good.
Watch the black and white cut.
Yeah, watch it in black and white for the ultimate
Yeah.
version.
Yeah.
Except for the fact the CGI looks like shit.
Oh, it was originally supposed to be released in black and white, to hide.
And to be
Aye,
fair,
aye,
the
yeah.
black and white cut does make it look better.
So yeah, a weak ending. It's just would have loved to see seen a little animated thing, but
Another thing would be probably the fact that, sorry, I didn't mean to completely cut you off. I missed most of this video, so just
Oh,
give me a
go
little
ahead.
breathing room. Another thing about this is we have all heard the stories of deleted scenes,
Oh yeah.
of alleged like explosive deaths and such and such. It's about time that they release the unrated, unedited version at this point.
Supposedly King is the only one who owns that footage, and
Then he needs to fucking share it with people
well,
before he
he's very
dies.
he's very ashamed of this movie, and he was reached out to a couple times with the special edition DVD, the Blu-ray, and everything, and he didn't want anything to do with it. Personally, I think the only way this footage is ever going to see the light of day is if either A, he dies, B, he doesn't care anymore, or C, the work print footage that was sent to George Romero is somehow found by his widow.
Or D, Joe Hill goes to his house and steals it.
That's it.
Yeah.
That could happen. Now, what if Stephen King's son, like, that was his whole plan to do the remake, just to get the fucking uncut footage out
Yeah.
there,
I think he would be a better person than King himself.
It'd be like the remake of My Bloody Valentine. When that came out, Lionsgate got the rights to it, and that finally allowed the original movie to be released uncut. So maybe that's a scheme,
That's the only reason that remake's justification.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm getting scared of all these remakes that are coming out that don't need to be made.
True.
Gosh,
There's like two good ones. There's Maniac and
well, no, they have a reason to be made.
what was the
Hollywood
one that was
needs
just recently?
money, and
What
they're
was the
lazy.
one that was just recently announced with Jack Gyllenhaal, whatever, being in it?
Big Gyllenhaal.
Yeah, like
I don't know.
Ambulance?
what?
Ambulance?
No, it's a remake. It's a remake of a classic, and he's Roadhouse. They're
Oh.
remaking Roadhouse, and they're
But
Why?
Ambulance is a remake, though.
they're
You know it's gonna be PG-13. You just
Please
know it
no.
is. You're not gonna get the line, I used to fuck guys like you in prison. You're not gonna get that in PG. No fucking way.
It's something that can only exist in the 80s.
Because I think
Sad.
Swayze,
They'd
I think
have to
Swayze
pick a studio.
unironically is a good action hero in that movie.
They'd have to pick a more like topical line to today's world, like I misgender guys like you in public all the time.
Oh God, politically correct road, like 2022 Roadhouse.
I'd rather slit my fucking wrists.
I don't know. It could be like so awful it's funny.
Some movies just don't need to be remade, man.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah, I
And
agree.
you know, maybe Maximum Overdrive is one of those movies. Maybe it's good that we might not get a
It
remake.
depends on who touches it, though.
Well,
That's
yeah.
the thing.
Yeah.
The guy who loves horror comes in and, like, say this: if Tom Savini came in and is like, "I want to remake motherfucking Maximum Overdrive," no one's gonna say, "Tell Tom, no, Tom, we don't think you should make that."
No,
Well,
yeah,
no,
look, it'll
no.
be-
I'm sure some, you know, coked out Hollywood executive is gonna say, no, we need this person to do it because I'm fucking them.
No, knowing our luck, it would be a Blumhouse production,
Yeah.
which is a 50-50 chance it's good. I'd say.
More like 40-60.
Yeah, I'm not taking that monkey's paw.
Yeah. I don't care if all the fingers are up. I'm still not taking it.
Even if the fingers are up her ass.
We never really had a track for this film, so let's kind of wrap it up.
Alright, so we're gonna do the same scale as usual. -5 being so bad it's good, 0 meaning it's fucking horrible and watchable, 5 meaning it's unironically great. I'm giving this a -5.
I'm gonna say -4.
I'm giving this a 5. Fuck all. I'm saying this is genuinely good.
I'm gonna say that there's better so bad it's good films, but this is a genuinely good so bad it's good film.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it a 4.9.
Ah.
You know, we're right in the fucking middle, except not in the actual middle.
I think I like this movie so much because there's really nothing else really like it. The closest you get is like
it's
John Carpenter, Christine. That's it.
Yeah,
Maybe
it's a
Trucks.
very
I mean-
unique premise that I'm kind of sad hasn't been done more.
Yeah. You think killer car movies, killer sentient machines, that'd be a home run, slam dunk, but it's like, nope, there's very few of those.
I mean, maybe it's because it's hard to humanize machines as a villain, but I don't know.
Maybe because this movie bombed, they're like,
Yeah, that's
we
probably
shouldn't
it.
do this, we shouldn't do that now.
Like having a human villain, that's easy for writers. You get, you have motives, and even if they're very basic primal things like want food, want sex, don't care if have consent. If you're doing
I think the big issue is
slasher
like it's
film.
not so much that they're dehumanized. It falls more into the category is that they're giant cars.
Yeah,
And there's only one way a car can kill people,
running.
and that's by running into them.
Well, see that. Well, no. That's why you got to get more creative. Like the cars weaponize parts of their systems, like they shoot fire out of their exhaust, or like their hood.
The whole thing where you,
or like
either
their
have to
hood
explain
pops up and they start spraying like superheated steam from the radiator at people.
See, you had to think too hard for that. Now that's what the fucking director's gonna think. Like, we can't do weird shit with the car. What if we had a car that shot razor blades out of its hood?
I guess you could make a Terminator ripoff with AI and shit.
I mean, you could, but it'd be not as fun.
Wouldn't be as good now.
Yeah.
I mean, if you gave me like
but
a horror film where a monster was going around and absorbing electronics and getting bigger and bigger, but he wasn't absorbing like calculators and fucking laptops. He was absorbing bandsaws and fucking belt sanders.
Yes.
So it'd be like Akira.
Ooh.
I'm talking like horror, because I know there's a movie like that actually. It's a Jamie Lee Curtis Virus.
Oh, Virus. I remember that one.
Yeah, exactly. But this would be like a horrifying monstrosity, massive in size. With buzzsaw blades spinning on a giant. Yeah, it'd be cool to see something like that. A modern version.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what kind of shit would you want in a modern version of Maximum Overdrive? Because
I would say you do like Elon Musk's like brain chip.
Oh yeah, I mean, you could have a fucking great scene of a guy trying to rip his chip out of his brain.
Yeah.
With like what he has at like I don't know, like an automotive store. So he's like cuts open his forehead and like shoves in a needle nose plier and like rips it out, and there's like
Total Recall kind of.
Yeah, that'd be metal as hell.
If they were gonna do a remake of Maximum Overdrive, I think the problem is like there's only like not so much the death, but also just like how do you do the gore? Do you use dummies that explode like water balloons, or do you have bad CGI the entire time?
No. See,
Because-
that's why a modern remake is probably gonna suck.
Because that's why
they'll
why
use
these deaths look
CG.
so cool. They
Yeah.
have weight. They have
Yeah.
weight to the body when stuff happens, but you still know that it's fake. You know.
Yeah. I would say it really depends.
I mean, it's fake, but you know that it's a physical object, and it's easier for the illusion to take place.
I'm trying to remember this movie I know where a guy gets like liquefied in a shot. I mean, you know it's a dummy, and whatever they made him out of just explodes like a watermelon on concrete.
Team America.
No, not Team America, but I've seen this movie a few times. But the guy is like, it's like if a person's body outside was just candy shell and the inside was just strawberry jelly. That's what happened when he got hit by whatever hit him. He just like,
Oh, you know what would be a great kill in like a modern remake of Maximum Overdrive? Somebody hitting a vape pen and it like fumigates their skull cavity.
I want to see that now.
Okay, now if we were talking like other technology,
And there's like
yeah,
a
there's
scene
a
of
lot
him
crazy
like
stuff in this.
with the vape pen like clamped to his face, just with like steam smoke and shit
I
shooting
got a
out of
great
his
one.
like ears and
Oh,
nose.
I got one. A Tesla has like an entire family in it. It's like an electric chair.
Yes.
Okay, I got one too. Everybody just walking around with their cell phones and stuff, and all the cell phones start overheating and the batteries start exploding.
Oh yeah, you have the one guy who has like the phone right near his dick. And it's like,
Yes.
no! Fuck no!
They just start going off like landmines. Like they're not gonna really necessarily kill you unless it's like on your face, but even then, it's gonna be more burns than anything.
Oh yeah, I've seen a video of like some idiot like cutting open cell phone batteries.
Yeah,
that could fuck you up. That could
Oh.
Yeah, I actually work with batteries, and yeah, don't play with batteries.
Don't stick sharp objects into a battery.
Oh, I've seen videos of where they explode in people's pockets, their cell phones, because
Oh, yeah.
they got stuff running in the background and they shove it in their pocket. And as soon as that thing hits a certain temperature, it just starts to overheat.
Yeah.
But yes, that's all science and crap, and no one cares about that.
Yep. I mean, you got go a little more fantastical with it. Like some of the machines can shoot out like little arms made out of wires and shit, so they can like lurch around. So you could have like a blender lurching after somebody until it like pulls out its own electrical cord and stops.
Blender would be 90s, 80s. This would be a NutriBullet.
Okay, or something fancy like that.
Yeah.
But it like shoots out little wires and starts scuttling around like a crab. And it like drops down from the ceiling to try to cut up your scalp.
That would be interesting.
That'd be cool. You could do a lot with this premise.
Yeah, you could.
But it's a shame that they probably never will.
Yeah,
Oh,
never say never.
Unless
They
you
will.
know-
It'll be an animated series on Netflix.
Ugh.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean,
no.
if it depends on the animation, because with animation they could get really fucking creative.
Yeah, Netflix they're really cheap with their animation.
Okay,
typically.
yeah. So no.
So Adult Swim, possibly.
The Adult Swim Maximum Overdrive series. I want
could
that.
see it.
Done by the guys who did Super Jail.
If you told me that we would get a Uzumaki adaptation from Adult Swim, I'd say, yeah, you're full shit. But like, who knows, right?
Who
No.
knows?
But one thing you do know, Maximum Overdrive is a good film and you should watch it.
Fuck
Hey.
yeah.
Watch
And
it
I
with
think
the whole
that's it for
family.
today.
Yeah.
Watch
Fun
it
for
with
the
the
whole
baby.
family.
Yeah.
With the dog.
That's all, folks.
Honey, come on over here, sugar buns. This machine just called me an asshole.